Hey, today we're talking about the rarest and most expensive modern analog synth, which you can actually kinda get for yourself pretty easily. You see, in 2012, Jonte Knif started building the prototype of a unique piece of musical instrument. A handmade synthesizer driven by 26 vacuum tubes, which already sounds like a unique architecture. It was a monosynth with 2 oscillators, ring modulation, FM, and more features. It's said that the tube's architecture gives it a unique sound character that makes it different from other analog synths. Thing is, when it was being built, it already had some buyers, but it wasn't until 2014 when the first unit solds were completed. As they were handmade, Jonte Knif made them in batches and sold them to selected customers. The first batch went for 9,000 euros, but the last one went for $18,500. Right now this synth is not longer in production. I think the last batch was made on 2022, and you cannot find information about it on the official webpage. By the way, Knif is a brand that makes mastering hardware, so they are well known on the industry. Now you can still visit the Facebook and Instagram pages, so you can get an idea of the production process, the prototypes, and even some examples. Now, besides those official examples, there are not many sound demos from other people. And that's because about 25 or 26 units were ever made. And we don't know who the owners are, and that's perfectly fine. I mean, if you buy a synth, that's your business. But what we do know is that at least 2 units were sold to Hans Zimmer, and he used the Knifonium on the soundtrack for Interstellar. But as I said, it's super hard to find information about the other actual owners of Knifonium units. I mean, you can find a few Knifonium listed for sale in different pages, but these are not active sales. This adds a lot more to the mysterious aura of the synthesizer. I mean, we don't know in which other music it's been used. And basically the only sound examples we have are from Jonte Knif himself. Now, despite all of the secrecy and even the almost mythological status of this synth, there's actually a plugin version of it made in collaboration with Plugin Alliance. And it's endorsed by Mr. Knif himself. It's supposed to be an excellent recreation of the sound of the original. At least, that's what they say. It's listed at $149, but when on sale, you can get it for as low as $30. I mean, I'm recording this video on the 2nd of December, and on Plugin Boutique it's still on sale, despite saying that the deal ended yesterday. But anyway, we go for the $16,000 from the original to only $30, which, of course, it's crazy to think about. I know that this is software and not hardware, but Plugin Alliance is regarded as one of the best analog emulation developers right now. Now, to be completely honest, I've tried their Oberheim and it sucks. So of course, the only thing that we can do right now is to play with the Knifonium and see if it lives up to the hype of the original hardware synthesizer. Now, I would love to test it against the real deal, but of course, I don't have it. Maybe we can try to recreate the sounds that we can find with the sound demos, but we will have to conform to test it against other analog emulations that are regarded as the most authentic virtual analog synths. We can also test it against my Moog. All of that is to answer a few questions, like, does it sound analog, whatever that means? Does it have a different sound character because of the tubes? And will it make me wish I had $16,000 a couple of years ago? Let's find out. So, it offers many unique ways of creating sound, but I want to start more traditional. We all love our crazy, weird, and experimental sound making, but a good synthesizer should be versatile. I mean, if I'm paying $16,000 for something, it better be able to create the sweetest, lushest, brassy and stringy pads, or funky basses, or, well, you know, the classic synth sounds. So let's start this test by creating those sounds. What do you say? Good enough? I think it's good enough. By the way, the original is mono, but this one can be set to be polyphonic with 8 voices. The two oscillators sound nice and they can be spread. The spreading that Plugin Alliance implements here is by making the phase of the left and the right different. You can see it on the oscilloscope. It sounds interesting, but I don't like to overuse it, and I don't know if in mono will be well translated. Now, the filter has its own character, and it can even self-oscillate, giving you like another oscillator too. It's crispy, fat, and resonant, and the thing is, as the characteristic of Knifonium are the tubes, they decided to add 3 saturation types on the output stage. You can increase the output gain, and it starts distorting in a very nice way. I mean, this is pretty unique. There are not many synths when one of the key features is overdriving the output signal. Now, before continuing, let's create a filter sweep and compare it with some other filter sweeps from other analog emulations. And also, we're going to make a filter sweep with my old trusty Moog Subharmonicon. This is not actually to test which one sounds more analog, but to check if Knifonium has a different, more unique character because of the tubes. I mean, the emulated tubes. Let me know in the comments which one did you like the best. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That's the most important thing for me. This synth also has syncing, ring modulation, and FM, meaning that we can get more experimental kind of sounds. First, let's test the FM, which is actual FM, not phase modulation, so it's going to be unstable. And the other thing I want to check is the feedback, because not only changes the sound, but also can be routed to different stages, different parameters, like the oscillators or the filter. Yeah, it sounds pretty interesting, pretty nice. Now you can actually change the routing of the ring modulation. For instance, the input can be set to oscillator 1, the feedback, and even external input. More of that later in a minute. And the carrier can be set to oscillator 2, LFO, feedback, and again external. So we can experiment with different combinations to test the different sound possibilities of this ring modulation. And as we are routing inside the synth, changing parameters for FM, the filter, resonance, and feedback will also affect how the end result is going to be. going to upload 15 free presets for Knifonium for my patrons and channel members. If you're not one, consider joining because you can always get crazy free presets, samples, and early access to my videos. Now, going back to the external input feature, this synth can actually be sidechained with another track. And as you can see, there are a couple of parameters that can work with external sounds, starting with the ring modulation. I'm reading a drum loop to it, and the result is this rhythmic sound that sounds very distorted, but you can identify the synth sound, and it has the power and rhythm of the drums. Let's cut a little bit with the filter, increase the resonance, and set the modulation of the filter now to external. It sounded pretty nice. Let me increase the drive to saturate it more, and we get this weird drum sound. Now, the external input can be used for other things, like the pitch modulation, which seems to be a bit quantized, I think. But we can also affect the pulse width externally, so this is a sweet experimental noise machine, and we can use it to process sounds outside of it. Now, it has more stuff like the sample and hold and LFO, but those are more conventional. I think we already made the point that this thing sounds very unique. Besides all of that, they added an arpeggiator, which is always welcome. It's pretty basic, but sounds nice. And it has also 9 different effects. Now, to be completely honest, I don't like the effects that come with Knifonium. That was one of the main reasons on why I don't use it as much. Now I use external effects, but I like when the effects inside a synth are good. The reverb, for example, sounds very metallic, which is nice, but limits the type of sounds that you can create. The flanger, chorus, and phaser are mono, they don't have many parameters, and the air band is just a gimmick. So, does it sound different because of the tubes? Kind. But it also offers a lot of other features that makes it more unique compared to other analog-inspired synths in the market. It has its own character and it can get super experimental, which is something that I love. Now, does it make me wish I had $16,000 a couple of years ago? Honestly, I don't think so. Maybe I'm spoiled because of all the features that a synth can have right now, but I'm not paying $16,000 for a mono synth, even if it's the best sounding analog synth ever. I mean, for that money, I want to be able to play a chord. But anyway, let me know your opinions down in the comments, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time, and bye-bye.